أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Lesson number 73, Surah Al-Maidah. We'll begin from ayah number 55.
إنما وليكم الله ورسوله والذين آمنوا الذين يقيمون الصلاة ويؤتون الزكاة وهم راكعون. Your ally, your friend, your protector is none but Allah. Innama. What does innama mean? Nothing but this. So, innama waliyukumullahu, your only ally, your ally is none but Allah. And if Allah is your ally, then as a result, who else is going to be your ally? Those people whom Allah loves. Therefore, first of all, وَرَسُولُهُ, and His Messenger. And then, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, and those people who believe. Previously we were taught, do not take the Yahud and the Nasara as awliya. Over here, we are being told that as believers, who are your awliya? First of all, Allah, then the Messenger, and then those people who believe. But which people who believe? Just those people who say that they're believers? No. الَّذِينَ يُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ, those who are serious about their deen. And how do you know they're serious about their deen? That first of all, they establish the salah. وَيُؤْتُونَ الزَّكَاةَ, and they also give the zakat. So they give the haqq of Allah, and they also give the haqq of the people. Iqamat al-salah shows that a person is serious about giving the rights of Allah. And giving the zakat means that a person is serious about giving the huquq of people. وَهُمْ رَاكِعُونَ, and they also do ruku'. They're also humble. Raki'un is a plural of raki'. And who is raki'? One who does ruku'. Now if you think about it, iqamat al-salat is mentioned. And iqamat al-salat includes performing the ruku'. Then how come wahum raki'un is mentioned again? What does it mean? Ruku' is a position which shows humility. It shows humility. So wahum raki'un means they are khashi'un, they are humble before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And a person who is humble, make sure you befriend them, because perhaps their humility will affect you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us over here, these are the people whom you should befriend. These are the people whom you should come close to. A person who is very serious about performing the salah, who is very serious about giving the zakat, and a person who is also humble. And وَهُمْ رَاكِعُونَ, others have said that what this means is that they perform salatul tatawwur, meaning they perform the voluntary prayers as well. Such people should be your close friends, because they're going to affect your deen. وَمَنْ يَتَوَلَّ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ, and whoever is an ally of Allah and His Messenger, whoever befriends Allah and His Messenger. And what does it mean by befriending Allah and the Messenger? How can a person be friends with Allah and the Messenger? By obeying the commands of Allah and by following the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Because remember, wilaya, this type of friendship, has a lot to do with mahabba, with love. Remember that. Mahabba is included in this. How can you love Allah? How can you show your love to Allah? When you obey Allah. How can you love Allah? قُلْ إِن كُنْتُمْ تُحِبُّونَ اللَّهَ فَاتَّبِعُونِي, then follow the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And what does it mean by loving the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? Following his sunnah. وَمَنْ يَتَوَلَّ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ, whoever befriends Allah and His Messenger, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, and those people who believe, فَإِنَّ حِزْبَ اللَّهِ هُمُ الْغَالِبُونَ, then indeed it is the party of Allah. They will be predominant. Notice over here, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Hizbullah. Not, then they will be victorious. But He says that such people are Hizbullah. Who? Those who befriend Allah and His Messenger and the believers. Such people are the Hizbullah. The word Hizb is from the root letters Ha, Zai, Ba. And the word Hizb is used for a group of people that has gathered together, that has come together in order to carry out a particular task, in order to do a particular thing. So basically they share the same focus, they have the same aim, they have the same goal. They have come together in order to perform a particular task. So فَإِنَّ حِزْبَ اللَّهِ, this is the group of Allah, this is the party of Allah. And such people are going to be ghalibun, they're going to be victorious. Meaning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to help them, and ultimately they're going to be victorious. What do we learn from these two ayat? First of all, we learn about the encouragement to befriend Allah, His Messenger, and the believers. And that means that a person should hold on firmly to the book of Allah. And a person should hold on firmly to the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. And a person should also hold on firmly to the Sabilul Mu'mineen. Remember in Surah Al-Nisa? Sabilul Mu'mineen, the way of the believers. وَمَن يُشَاقِقِ الرَّسُولَ مِن بَعْدِ مَا تَبَيَّنَ لَهُ الْحَقِّ وَيَتَّبِعْ غَيْرَ سَبِيلِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ. So, over here, there is encouragement to befriend Allah, His Messenger, and the believers. And how will a person do that? By holding on firmly to the book of Allah, to the Sunnah of the Messenger, and also the Sabilul Mu'mineen. We also learn from this ayah that those people who befriend Allah, His Messenger, and the believers, such are the Hizbullah. Remember that there is a Hizbullah and there is a Hizbul Shaitan. There is a party of Allah and there is a party of Shaitan. You know how in politics, there are different parties, right? So similarly, there is a party of Allah and there is a party of Shaitan. The party of Allah is what? What's the focus? What's the goal? That people should worship Allah and get to Jannah. They should be saved from hellfire. What's the goal of the party of Shaitan? That people should disobey Allah, obey the Taghut, and end up in hellfire. The leader of Hizbul Shaitan is who? Shaitan. And what's his goal? That I will take a good portion of these people with me to hellfire. So there are two types of people. Either you belong to Hizbullah or you belong to Hizbul Shaitan. In order to be of the Hizbullah, what do we have to do? Befriend Allah, His Messenger, and the believers. Thirdly, we also learn from this ayah that the believers, the Hizbullah, that is going to be successful. That is going to have victory. Now it's possible that the believers, they suffer from defeat in this dunya, from their enemy. But in the hereafter, the believers will ultimately be successful. In the hereafter, ultimately the believers will be successful. How? As they will be the inheritors of Jannah. أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْوَارِثُونَ. They will be the heirs of paradise. They will inherit Jannah. We learn in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَأَغْلِبَنَّ أَنَا وَرُسُلِي إِنَّ اللَّهَ قَوِيٌّ عَزِيزٌ. Allah has written that I will surely overcome, I and my messengers. Indeed, Allah is powerful and exalted in might. And you know that story in Surah Yasin, where that person, when he was telling his people that believe, and they killed him, what did he say? يَا لَيْتَ قَوْمِي يَعْلَمُونَ بِمَا غَفَرَ لِي رَبِّي وَجَعَلَنِي مِنَ الْمُكْرَمِينَ. So he ultimately became successful. And the people back in the dunya, they suffered loss. So it is possible that in the dunya, a believer suffers from defeat, from loss. But ultimately, in the hereafter, he is going to be successful. And in the dunya, how is the Hizbullah going to be successful? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, إِن تَنْصُرُ اللَّهَ يَنْصُرْكُمْ. If you help Allah, then Allah will help you. You will not get the help of Allah just by talking. You will not be victorious just by being proud of the fact that you're believers. No, you will be victorious when you actually do something. And we also learn that the love of Allah and His Messenger is a means of attaining success. Because وَمَن يَتَوَلَّ اللَّهَ وَرَسُولَهُ وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, then the Hizbullah, they are the ghalibun. What does it show? That if a person loves Allah and His Messenger and the believers, then he is heading towards what? Success. Let's listen to the recitation of these verses. يا أيها الذين آمنوا, O you who have believed, لا تتخذوا الذين اتخذوا دينكم هزوا ولعبا. Do not take those people who have taken your religion in ridicule and amusement. Don't take them. And who are these people? مِنَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ. They are from those people who were given the scripture before you, being the Jews and the Christians. And they're also from among who? وَالْكُفَّارَ, and the disbelievers. So don't take them as awliya, as close friends. Don't befriend them. Why? Because they mock at your religion. Don't befriend them. Would you like it if somebody mocks at you? No. So how can you befriend someone who mocks at your religion? If somebody makes fun of your mother, of your sister, of your spouse, of your children, how do you feel? How do you feel? Very upset. You don't care if they're your boss. You don't care if they're your employer or who. They dare make fun of my mother, my father, my family. I'm not going to listen to them. So how can you befriend a person who mocks at your religion? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us, لا تتخذوا, don't take them as friends. Who? الَّذِينَ اتَّخَذُوا دِينَكُمْ, those people who have taken your religion as huzuwan. What does huzuwan mean? It's from the root letters ha, zai, hamza. Istihza, mockery. And huzuwan is to mock at someone, to laugh at someone. Why? In order to reduce its importance. In order to reduce the importance of that thing or that person. So they mock at your religion, they laugh at your religion, they make fun, they crack jokes, and they laugh at your religion. Why? In order to reduce the importance, the value of your religion. To disrespect your religion. How can you befriend these people? وَلَعِبًا, and they have also taken your religion as la'ib. What does la'ib mean? La'ib is to play. It is basically to engage in some activity for the purpose of entertainment, for the purpose of recreation. Like for example, a person could be kicking a ball, or he could be throwing something. Why? As a part of his fitness regime. Like he's practicing. Why? In order to be stronger in his body. This is something purposeful. And at the same time, a person could be kicking a ball or throwing a ball or something like that. Why? For recreation. For fun. Similarly, a person could be using their phone. Why? Because they're sending emails or something like that. Another person is using their phone. Why? Just to have fun. Yes, it could be the same action, but depending on why a person is doing it, the action could be different. So, la'ib is basically to do something with the object of recreation, for the purpose of entertainment. So they have taken your religion as a la'ib, meaning they have taken your religion as something to have fun with. That they crack jokes about your religion. They are non-serious about your religion. They say bad things about your religion. Why? Just so that they can spend some time laughing and having some fun. So don't take these people as friends. Who are they? They are مِنَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ, meaning they are the Jews and the Christians. Those people who are knowledgeable. وَالْكُفَّارِ, and they are of the disbelievers, meaning the mushrikeen, those people who are ummiyun, who are unlettered. So it's possible that a person who is making fun of the deen is someone who is knowledgeable. And at the same time, it's also possible that he is unaware. Somebody could be educated, and somebody could also be uneducated when it comes to making fun of the deen. Allah says, وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ, and fear Allah. Meaning this matter is so serious that you must fear Allah concerning this. That out of the fear of Allah, do not befriend them. Why? Because if you befriend them, if you're in their company, eventually what's going to happen? You're also going to start making fun of your religion. You are also going to take your religion non-seriously. So, وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ, if you're truly believers. What do we learn from this ayah? That if we're truly believers, then we must have taqwa. And taqwa demands that we leave the gatherings of those people who mock at the deen of Allah, who make fun of the deen of Allah, who take the deen of Allah non-seriously. Secondly, we also learn from this ayah that sometimes there are educated people who make fun of the deen. And sometimes there are uneducated people. And if a person is uneducated, they're misinformed, okay, you're like, never mind. They don't know what they're talking about. Like, for example, there's a child. Or there's a person who is really, he doesn't have any idea whatsoever. If they're saying something wrong, you ignore them. But if a person who is educated, highly qualified, they have degrees, they're professors, and they're up there, and they're making fun of the deen, you feel very upset. So what does it show? That such a person doesn't actually have knowledge. Such a person is not really educated. As we will learn in the following ayah, ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّهُمْ قَوْمٌ لَا يَعْقِلُونَ, that these people have no aql. Because a person who makes fun of somebody else, what does it show? They don't have aql. They don't use reason. And a sensible person is never going to make fun of another. وَإِذَا نَادَيْتُمْ إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ, and when you call to prayer, how? By giving the adhan. So وَإِذَا نَادَيْتُمْ إِلَى الصَّلَاةِ, and نَادَيْتُمْ is from nida, to call out. So when you call out to the salah, meaning to people so that they can perform salah, اتَّخَذُوهَا هُزُوًا, they make it a mockery, وَلَعِبًا, and a play. Meaning they start laughing when they hear the adhan, and they make it a play. How? By, for instance, imitating the adhan in a very disrespectful manner, copying the adhan of the muaddin. Or similarly, people are performing the salah and they're passing jokes. They are saying things that are very derogatory. Similarly, they're mocking at the salah by praying the salah, like quickly, or making fun. People do that. So, اتَّخَذُوهَا هُزُوًا وَلَعِبًا, they make it a source of mockery and play. Why do they do that? ذَلِكَ بِأَنَّهُمْ, that is because they are قَوْمٌ, a people, لَا يَعْقِلُونَ, they don't have aql. So what does this ayah show to us? That a person who makes fun of others, whether it is for entertainment purposes, under the label of comedy, or something else, what does it show? That this person is not sensible. He does not have aql. He is not using his aql. And sometimes we think that people are so clever that they can come up with such clever jokes. They must be so clever. They must be so intelligent. But that's what they're doing with their intelligence? The sharp mind that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them, the eloquence that Allah has given them, they're using it to mock at others and just laugh? And make other people laugh? So a person who makes fun of others in any way whatsoever, what does it show? He does not use his reason. So don't be impressed by his degrees and by his education and etc., etc. We also learned that there are some people who specifically don't like the salah, who specifically don't like the adhan, the sound of the adhan, the call of the adhan, the way that the salah is performed, and they make fun of it. And this is something that shaitan does, meaning shaitan does not like the adhan. We learn from a hadith that is recorded in Bukhari, that when the call for prayer is made, when the adhan is pronounced, shaitan takes to his heels, passing wind, so that he may not hear the adhan. Basically, he runs away so that he cannot hear the adhan. And when the call is finished, then he comes back. And when the iqamah is pronounced, shaitan again takes to his heels. He runs away. And when the iqamah is finished, he comes back again and tries to interfere with the person and his thoughts, and to say, remember this and that. which he has not thought of before the prayer. That before the prayer you had no idea, you had no thoughts about that particular thing. And then during the salah, weird things are coming in your mind. Until the praying person forgets how much he has prayed. If any one of you does not remember, then he should perform 2 prostrations before pronouncing the salam. The Prophet ﷺ said this. So, this shows that a person who does not like the adhan, who does not wish to listen to the adhan, who does not wish to even watch people pray salah, this is resemblance to the shaitan. This is resemblance to the Yahud and the Nasara. Because a true believer, he loves meeting with Allah. Let's listen to the recitation of these verses. We'll do a quick review.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتخذوا الذين اتخذوا دينكم هزوا ولعبا. Those people who take your deen as a huzuwan and la'iban, don't take them as what? As close friends. Who are these people? From among who? First of all, مِنَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ, and secondly, وَالْكُفَّارِ. What does it show? That it is not all of the Ahlul Kitab who make fun of the deen, and it's not all of the kuffar who make fun of the deen. Who is it? Min. So those people specifically who make fun of the deen, don't befriend them in any way whatsoever. Why? Why should you not befriend them? Because friends influence one another. If you're sitting in their gatherings and they're mocking at the deen, they're passing jokes on the deen, having fun by mocking at the deen, by insulting the deen, then as a result, what's going to happen? You are going to take their influence. You are going to lose respect for the deen. And eventually, you will be doing the same thing. وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ, and fear Allah if you're truly believers.